How's it going, everybody? Tyler Schwartz here, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going back to basics with hard shoe and going over how to do a proper treble. Shout out and thank you to FEIS app for providing the music for today's lesson. Without further delay, let's get into the video. All right, I'm talking about trebles today, nice and easy. Let's talk about our prep, our proper prep. Our proper prep into trebles is what I always grew up hearing it as was a lifted third, but I actually have heard a few different phrases for this. And my favorite one is flare. It's a fun word. So when we do our flare, we have our heel to toe. We have our right foot in front, our left foot in back. And from here, we're gonna give that front foot an elevator ride straight up. Now it's not gonna be limp. It's what I would call landing gears up. So that toe is pointed up. And now from here, it should kind of look like that. Elevator ride. We're lifting through the knee, up. And again, we're not like bringing it over. We're not bringing it over to the side. We're not bringing it over here. Just going straight up. Landing gears up. Now from here, I'm also gonna tuck the heel closer to the shin. Okay. So again, just elevator ride to the shin. It's just that little bit extra. This is what I would call a flare, okay? Or a prep, or lifted third. But this is where our positioning should be before going into a treble. There are some, it's like 95% of the time your treble would and should come from here. Ever so often there's a moment where you have to kind of come from a different spot, but normally 9 out of 10 times you're prepped here. There's always an exception, but in most cases you want this prep to be right here. If you're having trouble with your trebles, make sure you're preparing yourself properly for them. It's a lot of P words today. Lift it up and close to the shin, prepped out, and from here we're gonna brush out. When you're first learning trebles, I want you to show your toe. So point it out. I don't want it to be like this. I don't want that. I want you to point it out. That's also gonna help with the brushing effect, okay? So when you brush it back, you put the landing gear back up. So your foot should be brushing out and back, out and back, out and back. Cool? Try it on the left foot. Again, left in front of right. Elevator ride to the shin. That's our prep. And we're gonna brush straight out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it really, even my advanced dancers, I'm talking to you, advanced dancer watching this simple beginner video. This is a good thing to practice every so often. Slow things down for a minute. I don't think Irish dancing can get super complicated very fast. Sometimes it's nice to rewind it back. There's progress to be made by slowing things down and just going through your trebles. So, not a bad thing to practice. Great thing to also warm up with. You got your hard shoes on. If you feel yourself like scuffing, scraping your trebles, trebling in a weird place, not making a lot of noise, bring it back to basics. So having it flexed here ensures that our first sound is gonna be the bottom of our tap right there. And then brushing it back, having this type of space ensures that that brush back is gonna make a whole bunch of noise as well. Range of motion is important, especially when we're first trying to get our trebles accurate. Yes, there are fast trebles where you don't have a lot of time. But that's only possible and accurate and strong if we know how to do a proper slow treble. What else? Something I've been asked beforehand. Something I've been asked before is what part of the foot or part of the shoe makes the treble? And at first thought that could maybe sound like a silly question. Well, of course, it's the tap. It's the tap shoe, but you can clearly see that You can maybe guess what makes the noise. The metal part, or the fiberglass part if you have hard shoes on. Sure. But there's a spot that you're trying to aim for more than others. When we point our toe in Irish dancing, we point with our big toe, not our baby toes. And the same thing kind of is important here as well. We want to lead out with the ball of your foot. And if you've not heard that phrase before, again, I'm not like a doctor, or I'm not using too many technical words. Ball of your foot should be right kind of here where your big toe is. Run your big toe back to where your foot is, and it's at the end of your tap, right there on the inside. That's, in my experience, been the place where I've gotten the best, most accurate, consistent sound. It's also where my fiberglass taps tend to wear down the most. Let's see. Not this shoe. If you can see this, where the ball, that's where the ball of my foot is. And that's where a lot of pressure and a lot of friction happens. But then right here, if you can see the tap, it's like fully wearing off. Okay, but we want that area. Yeah, that's boom, boom, boom. Not over here. We want that area. Okay. Yeah, it's super important. Even on like a newer shoe. So this is a newer shoe. You can see, where is it? You can even see already. There's some wearing going on here, but if you go to where the ball of the foot is, sure enough, I'm already like breaking through right there. But that's where we're gonna get the most sound. Inside, right there. And so how do we ensure that we aim for that? It's kind of, you don't want to necessarily like slap it down like that. When we're brushing out, if we have a turned out foot and we have a flexed foot brushing out, that's how we're gonna get and go from that flex to the point. That's how we're gonna get that sound where we want it to happen from. So once you get really comfortable just doing your trebles, throw in a switch. Switch, treble, switch, treble, switch, treble. And practice it with a pulled up back foot. There's a lot you can do with it, practicing trebles. I think if you really want to count it as a trick, it is definitely the most used trick in Irish dance, at least in the hard shoe. So if you get really good at it, that's going to be really beneficial to your dancing overall. So highly recommend, even if you're an advanced dancer, slowing it down, practice your trebles, flex it out, give me a flare before you brush it out. All right, good enough for today.
Huge shout out and thank you to everyone who's taken their support of this channel to the next level, either by becoming a patron over on Patreon or becoming a member of the channel. For more information about how you can support the channel more, check the description below the video. Thanks and have a good one.